Mr. Witness, have you ever read the bylaws of the company? No. Have you ever read the take 4, 3, 2, 1. Mr. Witness, have you ever read the bylaws of the company? No. Have you ever read the articles of incorporation of the company? No. Have you ever read the corporate minutes or other contents of the corporate book? No. Do you feel you have sufficient business experience to perform the duties of a director of the corporation? Well, by myself, no, but there were 4 other directors. So this is about some resources on practical law and Westlaw that can help you in your business associations class for particular claims like liability of the breach of the duty of due care from the director of a corporation, breach of business judgment duty. So all those questions and answers came not from my own mind, but actually from a source called Proof of Facts. You can get to it like this, Proof of Facts, typing it in and clicking on it, and then running a search for the particular thing that you're working on, like, oh, I don't know, duty of business judgment. When you search for that and pull it up, you're going to get ability of a director to a corporation for mismanagement. A Proof of Facts article is available on Westlaw, and it contains things like the boring old background, elements of the rule, as well as some things that are incredibly useful when you get out there in the real world. As you can see, a checklist, model discovery, which is quite useful to not get snowed under by your opposition, and then the model proof, the testimony that we were looking at right over here. Keep in mind, too, if there are practice pointers related to the foundation, the rules of evidence, maybe other things like that, you'll see those identified there too so that they don't trip you up when you get them. The reason this is useful for you in class is that then you can see the issues as they appear in a fact pattern, and then you can connect those to those things. Finally, one other resource is practical law, available from the drop down over here or for practical law across the top. You'll see that running a search here for maybe business judgment is going to pull up resources written from alums of the nation's top big law departments and so forth. You can see that the resource types and, for instance, practice notes are going to give you analytical frameworks and issues that might be helpful. I'm just going to pull up the one from over here. I just searched for business judgment like this and then found fiduciary duties of the board of directors. Again, filtering over here, practice notes. You can see here that if you're curious about what those duties are and what the legal framework is, we will have links to not only the law in all the different states, but also it looks like the majority of the analysis comes from Delaware. So here's links to the law on Westlaw, again, specific to each of these specific sections, and then any minority rules like you saw in New York, California in there as well. If you're pulling up a section of the statutes on Westlaw, notice here, practical law is going to have those same things too. So you're going to read this section for class, guess what? Links to these resources that will actually tell you, hey, this is why these things are important. This is what the legalese means. I'm going to give you an example of another piece of resource on here. Because if certificate of incorporation, maybe the certificate's defective, this explains what the legalese actually means and why it exists. So a business purpose, if that's an issue on your final exam, that's the section of the Delaware statutes. And then you can say, just as a black letter rule of law, broad statements of corporate purpose are sufficient. Yeah. All the same goodies from Westlaw, emailing, downloading, adding to your folder, and the like. Plenty of other great stuff on Westlaw, plenty of stuff I'd love to show you from the right-hand side. Connect with your account manager or follow at Lindy Hop Lawyer on Twitter for in-person availability, recap videos from class, and the like. Thanks for watching. See you next time.